You're a high achiever and you've consistently used willpower, determination, and grit to achieve any and every goal that you've set for yourself. But alcohol is that one thing that it just doesn't work for. Here's why. I'm Emma Kinsey, and in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to explain to you the neuroscience behind why moderation fails for high achievers and give you the exact framework I use with executives and business owners to break the cycle permanently. I've been alcohol free now for over 10 years, and I've helped dozens of high performing professionals eliminate alcohol's control. My clients include Fortune 500 executives, successful entrepreneurs, senior level professionals earning multiple six figures. And my program has a 93% success rate because we don't just address the behavior, we fix the wiring. Today, you're going to discover three different things. First, the three brain characteristics that make high performers terrible at moderation. Second, why every just one attempt actually strengthens the wrong neural pathways. And third, the identity anchor technique that most of my successful clients use. This is only going to take a couple minutes of your time, but it could save years of frustration and thousands of dollars that you're currently spending on alcohol. Let's start with a really uncomfortable truth. Your brain that got you promoted is the same brain that's sabotaging your moderation attempts. And there are three specific traits that make successful people fail at just one. First, all or nothing thinking. You've been rewarded your entire career for going all in. You either dominate a project or you don't take it on. You negotiate hard, you push through obstacles. This binary approach that has made you successful, killing your moderation attempts. Because deep down, that just one glass of wine is a half measure. You don't half-ass anything. Second, reward-seeking behavior. Your dopamine system is calibrated for big wins. Closing a major deal, getting promoted, building something significant. A single glass of Prosecco at a networking event doesn't satisfy that reward center. It simply teases it and prods it. So your brain says, if we're doing this, let's do it properly. That's when 1 becomes 3, 3 becomes 5, and you wake up disappointed again. And third, the stress response patterns. You've unconsciously trained your brain that alcohol equates relief from pressure. After high presentations, your neural pathways automatically fire towards that glass of wine. It becomes your go-to decompression tool. So when you tell yourself just one, you're essentially telling a firefighter to just use a little bit of water on a massive blaze. Now here's where it gets interesting. Every time you try moderation and fail, you're not just disappointing yourself, you're actually strengthening the wrong neural. Think about it like this. When you decide 2 drinks maximum and then have 4, your brain learns that your conscious decisions can be overridden. You're training your prefrontal cortex to be weaker than your limbic system. You're literally wiring yourself for failure. And this is why willpower doesn't work long term. It's like trying to write an email while somebody's playing loud music. You might manage it for a while through sheer concentration, but eventually your focus will break. Except with alcohol, that music gets louder and louder and louder over time. Let me share a quick example. I had a client, let's call him Marcus, who's a senior partner in a major law firm. He'd set rules for himself and his drinking. Only wine with dinner, no drinking alone, not drinking on weekdays. But every rule became another negotiation with himself. Well, it's Thursday, which is practically the weekend. This client dinner counts as a social drinking. I'm not drinking alone. And each broken rule made the next one easier to break and to justify. So if moderation is setting you up for fail, what actually works? This is where we introduce something that I call the identity anchor technique. Instead of managing behavior, we're upgrading identity. Because here's the truth. Behavior follows identity, not the other way around. You don't act your way into a new identity. You identify your ways into new actions. The identity anchor technique has 3 different steps. Step 1, identity declaration. You define who you are, not what you can't do. Instead of I'm trying not to drink too much, you say I'm somebody who doesn't drink. Can you see the difference? The first one creates that internal conflict, and the second one creates clarity. This removes the negotiation entirely. Somebody who doesn't drink doesn't negotiate with a glass of wine. Somebody who doesn't smoke doesn't negotiate with cigarettes. When alcohol becomes irrelevant to your identity, the conversation ends. Step number 2, environmental design. You need to engineer your environment to support this identity. Now, this isn't just about removing alcohol from your house, although that's helpful. It's about removing the decision points. One of my clients redesigned his entire evening routine. Instead of walking past a bar after work, he started going to the gym. Instead of wine with dinner, he got really serious about fancy teas. He didn't just change what he drank, he changed who he became in those moments. Now, step 3, identity reinforcement. Every alcohol-free choice strengthens the new neural pathways. But here's the key. You're not depriving yourself. You're becoming somebody better. Each time you order a sparkling water at a client dinner, you're not missing out. You're showing up as a person who makes conscious choices about their drinking. This creates a compound effect. The more you act from this new identity, the more natural it becomes. Within weeks, my clients report that not drinking feels automatic rather than effortful. Now let's talk about real-world application. How do you actually use this technique? So at client dinners, instead of battling yourself about whether this is a special occasion, you simply operate from your identity. I don't drink, but I'd love a sparkling water with lime. No explanation needed, no apology required. When that voice in your head starts the familiar negotiation, maybe just one tonight, you have the exact phrase that ends it. That's not who I am anymore. Not I can't, not I shouldn't, simply that's not who I am. And when that old identity tries to creep in, you recognize it for what it is, old programming, trying to reassert itself. Like a phone automatically connecting to an old Wi-Fi network. You simply disconnect and reconnect to your new network. Let me tell you about another client, Sarah, a senior executive at a tech company. She tried moderation for 5 years, set rules, broke them, felt guilty, set new rules. The cycle was exhausting her. When we implemented the identity anchor technique, everything changed for her. Within 2 weeks, she told me, I don't even think about it anymore. Alcohol has just become irrelevant to me as cigarettes. She used to be a smoker in her 20s. And she said, I just don't identify as a drinker anymore. But the real transformation wasn't about the alcohol. It was the 20 pounds that she lost. It was the sleep that improved dramatically. It was her decision-making became sharper, her confidence in meetings increased. Because when you're not constantly negotiating with yourself about drinking, that mental energy goes somewhere else. This isn't willpower, this is strategic identity design. If you're ready to stop battling with moderation and start building an identity where alcohol just becomes simply irrelevant to you, I've created something that might help. I've developed a complete system called the Alcohol Control Protocol. It's specifically designed for high performers who want results, not just willpower. It's a 100-day strategic transformation that uses identity techniques along with other powerful frameworks to permanently change your relationship with alcohol. If you want to learn more about how I can help you eliminate alcohol's control permanently, click the link below in the description. We can have a conversation about your specific situation and see if this approach is right for you. Remember, you don't have a drinking problem, you have an identity problem. And identity problems have identity solutions. The same drive that makes you successful in business can make you successful at this. But only when you stop trying to moderate and you start upgrading who you are. Your future self, the one who operates at 100% clarity, the one who wakes up proud of every decision, is waiting. The question is, are you ready to meet them?